the NFL pisses me off because, like, you hire an independent judge, you hire an independent arbitrator because you don't want to be seen as being too heavy-handed because it's a black player. Granted, he deserves the punishment he should get. And then you don't like the punishment that they come up with using your own rules. It makes no sense to me. Mind you, you didn't suspend him all of last year when you had the opportunity to.
They didn't update the rules. So, I mean, honestly, that judge was kind of shorthanded. She had to go by the book, which was 6 games. I mean, what do you expect?
I expect
the NFL. It's the NFL.
Came here to say who won it from the jump. Came here to get exactly what you want. Came here to say that you don't really want it with us. Yeah, we live, you know. We came here to say that you don't really want it with us. Yeah, the sports show.
Let me see if I remember how to do this. Yeah. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Yerrr Sports Show, episode 109. I am your host, Big Baby, a.k.a. the soul of R&B, a.k.a. Houdini, for those who know, and for those who don't.
the Magic Man.
The Magic Man. To my right, we have the voice of a generation, not suspended for ringworm medicine, Pete Rosado. What's going on, brother?
Well, it's good. See, I don't have to remember how to do Yerrr. That's part of the Bronx blood, right? We just Yerrr on command.
That's a nice try. That is definitely a
we just listen. Bronx is home of the Yerrr. That's this. Listen, this is it. Yes, it is.
It's home of the zoo.
No, listen. I'm gonna call KRS-One on your ass. Watch.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. He ain't never come at Brooklyn. He came at Queens.
But I'm gonna call
story for another time.
He come hard for the Bronx though.
Right.
I feel bad for him.
And at the bottom of the pyramid, welcome back, BK Matt. What's going on, brother?
What's going on?
I need a soundboard. I need a soundboard.
I got one.
Bam, 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 bam.
I got one. What's going on though? Job Slam 2 next Saturday. I fucking messed it up.
But no, you didn't. You know why? Because Java Sam Sue's next Saturday, but next Friday night is an important night
Black
too.
Girl Magic.
Black Girl Magic.
I definitely was thinking about that when I did that too. But
right.
They limited how much I could put on there.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Bit. So you know what? I changed my name. Help them out.
Black Girl Magic 2 next Friday night in Brooklyn. Gonna be a whole movie.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And just remember, if you're not there and you live in New York and you're not there and you're a wrestling fan, you don't support black women.
Basically.
Wow. I don't shit. Well,
hey, yeah, Matt, you gotta press the little buttons.
I got it. I figured it out.
Okay. There we go. Yeah, Black Girl Magic 2.
And then Java Slam 2 Saturday. We will be there with the official pre-show.
Yes.
Java Slam 2.
Am I on that? Am I going to be on the pre-show?
Are you going to be there?
I'm working on it.
If you're there, you can gladly join the
pre-show. You're going to be on the pre-show.
Yeah. You don't even got to act.
It's a Yerrr Sports Show branded pre-show. You there?
You're the voice of the generation. Me, I'm ratchet. So you might want to keep talent away from me. I might end up on top of
Listen, it was almost a fight.
We're in Brooklyn on a Saturday in the summer. Ratchet's kind of like the menu du jour for the day.
And what makes it even worse for the talent is we in my borough. I'm heavy there.
But we in my hood, so this is the
you a PA guy now.
I got people in that hood.
You a suburbs guy now, Matt.
I really am not. You've never been to my house. It's not the suburbs.
Oh yeah, Matt's house is not. Matt crib is not the suburbs.
We got walking around.
man, walking around there, I'm like, oh man, this look like the damn Shy out here, man. Like
they having they got a party right now that's been going on for 2 days.
Like a couple weeks, like last Christmas, not this Christmas, this past week, the Christmas before, I spent Christmas with Matt and his family, and the Spanish people, your cousins next door, was damn going crazy every night.
Outside, it's winter with no shoes on.
Outside going crazy.
The baby is outside with no shirt, no shoes, no pants.
Just
barely.
diaper.
The diaper is just rarely holding on. It was just different. I've seen Spanish stuff, but damn.
Damn was right.
It was like they was just, and I'm not even too sure. It's like a mixture. They Puerto Rican, some of them's Dominican, some of them is like Honduras. Like it was a lot.
Some of them is a country. I love that. Some of them is Honduras. I love it.
Honduran. I don't know what
you're calling people the whole country.
What do you call it? It's Honduran, right?
Honduran.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, some of them is Honduras, some of them is Puerto Rico, some of them is Dominican Republic.
And I only know that they were Honduran because it's like they got like a little Hawaiian look to them. Like they look like Lilo from Lilo and Stitch a little bit.
Wow.
See, you trying to
wow.
Get me I don't know what other, all right. It's not racist. Like they look like
racist.
We come back off hiatus and we just straight into racism.
I'm just saying, like I was gonna say Samoan, but that would have been like
Samoan. Yeah, let Samoan hit us, and now we all not able to do the podcast anymore because they run up on us.
Like, what is the difference from Samoan and Hawaiian, by the way?
And
you go ask them and find out.
You know what? That's a conversation. That is a conversation for a different time.
I've always wanted to ask that.
Go ask somebody like go ask Alpha and Sika.
I almost asked Ming that.
Or Roman and them. Go ask them. What's the difference?
I almost asked Ming that probably like a decade or so ago, and he's just scary looking.
Have you not heard the stories?
Are you wild?
No, but I heard he's a sweet guy. Like he's mad.
I don't care. Have you not heard this? Listen, everybody has a Haku story, and it's never, ever, Haku gave me a teddy bear and a hug and chicken soup and shit. No, it's Haku almost killed a man with 2 fingers.
Yes.
No, I mean, but I heard he was a real cool dude, but what scared me was his hair wasn't out, so that threw me off rip. I didn't even know it was him until you stand next to him. He's freaking huge, by the way. Like he's like, I don't know. I might have been really, really smaller at that time. I was like 19 or 20. Or no, so I wasn't that tall. Shut up, Dre.
Anyway. No.
Tongan.
Ooh, you almost. Ooh.
Haku ain't even Samoan.
Yeah,
he isn't.
No, he's from the island of Tonga.
That helps. That's an island.
Yeah. All right, we're not doing. No, this is not social studies today. We're not doing.
I've never been to Hawaii, or I don't even know where Samoa is at. Like, how do you get there? Do you
You can fly.
Get on top of. You go fly there. What airline go there? Let me Expedia this shit.
American Samoa. It's a U.S. territory in the Pacific Island.
So I can go there without a passport, is what you're telling me?
Yes.
Yes.
To American Samoa.
What the fuck?
There's also just a regular Samoa.
What, they don't got Wi-Fi over there or something?
I don't know, but it's close. It's not too far from. It's in that it's not too far from the New Zealand, Australia area. It's way far out there. It's actually, if you really being honest, it's by Bora Bora. It's like technically Bora Bora is way out there.
I thought you was a math teacher. How the hell did you even know this?
I've also taught 7th grade social studies.
And y'all were talking about just islands without Wi-Fi. Just
listen, I am a learned individual, okay?
Guys, okay.
I am a learned individual. I am an academic.
All right. Let's get into the show because
gotta get them Wi-Fi.
Oh Lord. All right, let's get into today's topic.
Damian Sandow and them.
Oh Lord. So
I was getting my groove on to that.
Shout out to Queen Tay. Yeah. Shout out to Queen Tay. That's her joint. She's on the side.
Oh, she was about to get tight. She was about to get tight. You call her Queens. No. Don't do that.
Oh God, see, you trying to set me up, but everybody know I got a list and the tongue getting away sometimes. So
pause.
It's only pause if it pertains to you, but don't.
3 guys on the show. Pause.
It don't pertain to none of y'all though. Anyway. Anyway, Bill Russell. Somebody said this before. Bill Russell basically the Jackie Robinson of basketball. He broke a lot of color barriers. He passed away last week, and the NBA now have decided to retire the number 6 league-wide. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on Bill Russell's legacy? And I know we throw that word out a lot, that whole legacy word, but for Bill Russell, it's a lot different. So, Matt, what's your thoughts on Bill Russell and his legacy in the league retiring number 6?
I think it's a just due accomplishment. I mean, he meant a lot to the NBA. They named the MVP trophy after him, so I mean that shows, the significance of what he was to, that organization, and as far as to our people, the black athletes, black people in general, he broke color barriers. He was in one of the most, and I'm sorry that I'm not really sorry that I'm saying this. This is well known. Everybody knows Boston is one of the most well-known racist states and cities there is as far as, sports. So, I mean, and he had to endure that in the heat of all of that. People breaking into his apartment and vandalizing his house. This is a city that he won championships for, and he's been on record to saying that, I played for the Celtics. I didn't play for Boston. So, I mean, we know the significance of what Bill Russell is. He's a champion, hell of an athlete for that time. The reason why we're sitting there questioning if Wilt Chamberlain is really a top 5 of all time, because he couldn't beat him. At all, Wilt Chamberlain could not beat Bill Russell. I think he's only beaten him once out of 5 or 6 times. The exact number, right, Pete? It's 5 or 6 times, right? So I mean, how many times Bill Russell and Wilt has played in the finals? I think. Yeah, I know. It's 5 or 6 times. Wilt's only beat him once. I mean, when you think of champion, you think of Bill Russell. So I mean, I think it's necessary, to retire his number.
Pete?
I mean, listen, if your basketball Mount Rushmore doesn't start with Bill Russell, you're doing it wrong. Right? It's very simple. The man is 11-1. We talk so much about 6-0 for Jordan in the finals. Bill Russell was 11-1 in NBA Finals appearances. And in those 11 NBA championships, he won them in 13 seasons. 11 of his championships coming in 13 seasons. And the only championship that he lost, I believe, was the 1969 NBA Finals. The 1958 Finals. And, he was effectively injured in those finals anyway, so he wasn't really playing. Mm-hmm. When you look at his resume, 5-time MVP, 12-time All-Star, 3-time NBA first team, 8-time second team, 4 times led the NBA in rebounds, 1969 All-Defense team, and part of the 75th anniversary team for the NBA. Right? And that's just talking about his basketball acumen, not to talk anything about his place as a human being, his place as an activist, his place as one of the greatest people to ever walk the earth. And people talk so much about, Bill won because he had Coach Auerbach, he played with Bob Cousy, he played with Sharman. He played with all these other players. You know that the Boston Celtics never went to the NBA Finals until Bill Russell came to Boston. And they still had Coach Auerbach, Bill Sharman, Bob Cousy, and all the other Hall of Famers that played on the Celtics.
Whole fact.
In 1962, I looked this up. In 1962, Bill Russell sat out 4 games due to injury. Celtics went 0-4 with Cousy and Sharman on the floor. In 1969, with Sam Jones, John Havlicek, and the rest of the other Hall of Fame Celtics playing, in 1969, Bill Russell sat out 5 straight games due to injury, and the Celtics went 0-5.
Is their defense.
Right.
He was that rebounding in their defense.
Those were the 2 worst losing streaks in the Celtics history during his 13 years with the Celtics. Right? When Russell retired after 69 in the 70-71 season, the Celtics went from 48 wins to 34 wins. And in the 69 season, the only reason why they won 48 wins is because he was in rehab most of that year. Right? Yet they still had John Havlicek, Saunders, JoJo White, Howell, all the other Hall of Famers that played on that team. Bill Russell effectively made the Boston Celtics. You want to talk about Red Auerbach, you want to talk about Bob Cousy, you want to talk about everything. It was Bill Russell. And Bill Russell has gone on record saying, like Matt said, he played for the Celtics, he didn't play for the city of Boston, but he effectively hated the city that he played the majority of his career in.
I hate that city too.
And he was, for a long time, hated in his own city, not accepted, truly, in the city that he made great.
I don't think he made it great.
No, he did. He did as a sport.
He made it a championship city.
Yeah, as a sports town.
The city of Boston's great because we know. Just yeah. I wonder if I still got that charge.
But we talk about. This is a man who won the presidential medal, got the presidential medal of freedom. From President Obama. Bill Russell is not only on my Mount Rushmore as a basketball player, but Bill Russell is on my Mount Rushmore as a person in terms of just this earth. And to say that at 88, he died too young. He died too early.
I think Bill Russell's impact on not just the NBA but sports in general can be felt still even to this day. Like you talk about, if we're focusing specifically on Boston, there would be no Boston Lakers rivalry without Bill Russell
or Jerry West
or Jerry West, but who is 1-9 in the finals, and everybody thinks he's the greatest. But
I mean, I don't.
Not you. But even his activism will still be felt today for athletes to be able to speak up now the same way Bill Russell did back then when it was even frowned upon then. It's still frowned upon now, but we're now able to speak freely about it. Even here, from sports shows, anything that's sports related, Bill Russell has had his hand in and is a part of. And again, we thank Bill Russell for everything that he's contributed to not just the NBA, but the landscape of sports and being a positive influence on not just Black people, but all people in general.
And every NBA player should be thanking him, because if it wasn't for Bill Russell, the NBA Players Union, as you know it, would not exist, because owners of the NBA did not begin to recognize the Players Union until 1964. And why is that? Because Bill Russell organized the players to effectively say they were going to sit out the All-Star game unless their demands were met.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that. I wasn't old enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was about five at that time.
I can believe it.
Jesus. Staying on basketball. Kevin Durant. This man.
That's Matt's man right there.
This man. You know what?
I thought we weren't going to talk about basketball today. I was hoping we wasn't.
No, because we have to. So I guess we'll kick it a little old school with this. Welcome to the smoke section, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever you hear that sound, you ever hear those alarms, you ever hear that music, that means somebody's in for some smoke. The usual proprietor of the smoke section is BK Mac, but I think I'll take over for this one. Let's talk about Kevin Durant. We know who he is. He made it well known who he is, right? This is the man who, in free agency, made a business decision, left the Oklahoma City Thunder because him and Russell Westbrook was not a good combo, to go play with the Golden State Warriors.
In his defense, Russell Westbrook can't really,
No, I'm not. No,
nobody.
No, we don't. No, we don't need that. We don't need that. He doesn't need a defense. He's a free agent. He was a free agent. He can do what he wants. Then, all of a sudden, he is unhappy in Golden State because he's not liked how he's talked to, and he is not the golden child there.
Draymond Green called him a bitch, though. I mean, like, what would you expect?
Well, Draymond Green will soon be right about that, right? So then, him and Kyrie take their talents to Brooklyn. The first thing they do, Kenny Atkinson, very good coach.
I agree with that decision, by the way.
Kenny Atkinson, a very good coach, who is on the staff of the Warriors, who just won. Kenny Atkinson,
he ain't the head coach. He ain't the head coach.
You got a ring. Kenny Atkinson was fired because KD and Kyrie did not want him as coach for whatever reason. It's cool. So instead of hiring somebody with tenure, somebody who has vast basketball knowledge, someone who's coached before, we're going to hire Steve Nash. You know why?
Rob Kobe of them damn MVPs.
You know why? Because we don't need a coach via Kyrie Irving. Kevin Durant had a good enough relationship with Steve Nash. That's going to come back around to us later, right? The Brooklyn Nets paid Kevin Durant $40 million his first year to sit and rehab his injury. The year after that, the Nets make it to the playoffs. Nets get dropped off in the playoffs. They were a foot away. They were a foot away. They were a foot away.
A toe away.
No, Matt, this is not. Nope. You want to put your head down. That's not for you. So he was a toe away from possibly making the NBA Finals. Right?
Without Kyrie.
Without Kyrie Irving.
And James Harden being horrible. Yeah, I'll just throw that out there too. Yeah.
This past year, do we need to speak about it?
I'd rather not. I mean,
Bet. So now we get to the offseason. The same person that Kevin Durant wanted hired, now he wants fired.
That's allegedly.
No, ain't allegedly.
That might have been Sean Marks. That might have been Sean Marks that wanted Steve Nash. Because I didn't understand.
The same GM that hired Steve Nash, Kevin Durant also wants out of there.
I want him gone too.
Listen, all the reports say that it was Kyrie and Durant that signed off on Steve Nash. They didn't want him there then. Why sign off on him?
Why?
Trying to get somebody a paycheck. He's a fellow NBA brother. So is Sean Marks to a degree. But Sean Marks was a scrub. Let's just be 100.
And some of the best NBA GMs and NBA coaches have been scrubs in their playing career.
All aware of that. But that don't mean that Sean Marks is one of them.
Exactly.
Sean Marks built
too much credit,
that Nets team that convinced Durant to want to come to Brooklyn. He was the one who drafted and made all the trades and kept all the young talent that convinced KD to sign the contract to come to Brooklyn. But now he's not good enough to be the general manager. He swung the trade for Harden that you wanted.
I didn't want
he's
that.
Not good enough to be the
not
general
giving up
manager.
Like that. No, I didn't want that. But I said I would have did it. I would have did it. I don't think he swung it. I think it was presented to him. Let's just throw that out there. Let's be 100 about that. James Harden wanted to come to Brooklyn, and you did what you had to do to get the trade. I wouldn't say that he started it. It's like giving credit to freaking what's the name, Rob Pelinka for LeBron James. We know that wasn't true. Magic Johnson orchestrated that shit. We know that.
Yes, at the end of the day, you know what's so interesting about this. And by the way, Kenny Atkinson, I almost feel the reason why he backed out of being the head coach of the Hornets, because he was offered to be the head coach of the Hornets this past offseason and actually had said yes to the job and then backed out of the job at the last minute. I have a funny feeling that he was told by somebody in Golden State that he's going to be in line to take that job when Kerr walks out. Because Kerr's already said multiple times he doesn't intend to coach forever. So I can definitely see Kerr being one of those guys who walks off into the sunset while he's still relatively young, and then Kenny Atkinson takes over, considering that he has been known to mold young players. And what are they building around? Jordan Poole and Kuminga and all of them. But anyway, they would have been better keeping Kenny Atkinson as the coach, in my opinion.
So we think.
Okay. The problem was Durant and Kyrie did not want to play under Kenny Atkinson. Don't know why. Maybe they didn't want to do the work. Maybe they didn't want to be called out. Maybe they didn't want to be treated as equals. And I tend to think it was that last part. Because unfortunately, everybody says, oh, we brethren, we all on the same level. But you don't want to be treated on the same level as everybody else. Kyrie and KD, they don't want to be running laps like everybody else. They don't want to be doing the 4-hour practice. They don't want to be, doing all the stuff that everybody else is doing. Nah, they want to go sipping they Mai Tais and doing a podcast and sitting back like they don't got nothing to do and just show up with game time. It ain't like that. Everybody puts the work in the gym. This ain't like the NFL preseason where I can understand a starting quarterback not wanting to go out and play a preseason game, or certain starters not wanting to go and play preseason games. I can understand that. But when to invoke the name of Allen Iverson, when we talking about practice, when we talking about making sure that your team can gel, when we talking about putting in the work, I don't care who you are. You do it. And we sit here and everybody in the NBA invokes the name of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. That man showed up at practice. That man showed up and pushed his team, albeit in a bullying manner. His team to continue to get better and continue to play. Listen, one of the most legendary stories ever. Okay, and a lot of people didn't hear about it until The Last Dance. One of the most legendary stories ever was the practice game played at the Olympics.
I got a question though. You bringing up practice? Where are we going with this practice thing? Because I've never heard nothing about them not wanting to practice. I'm sorry.
I never heard
it's about the idea of not wanting to be held accountable, not wanting to have to put in the work, not wanting their feet held to the fire, not wanting to be the people put on the spot. Because Kenny Atkinson wasn't going to treat them like stars. You're going to be another man on the roster. Step up.
Matt, your thoughts?
I'm befuddled with this Kenny Atkinson thing. I think y'all are overhyping him a little bit too much, but it's okay. I get it. That's your guy. A little mad. I'm not a fan of Steve Nash being the head coach. I made that very clear from when it first popped up and we had to talk about it. So as far as this smoke thing, do I think Kevin Durant should get the smoke? Yes, I do, because he's doing too goddamn much. He wants too damn much. Personally, I don't really think this is what he wants. I think he's just trying to force the hand to get him traded or whatever the case may be, so he doesn't look as bad as he does, but he looks bad regardless. Because, again, you signed off on Steve Nash being there. And Sean Marks, like Pete said, and like Dre said, helped build a lot of that Nets team that wanted that KD and Kyrie seemingly wanted to come and join. So I don't think he's a bad guy or a bad GM, but if you're Joe Tsai, right, and you don't want Kevin Durant to leave, you wouldn't evaluate that situation. It's not like Steve Nash is the greatest coach. I'm just saying. I mean, I would try to like seemingly come to an agreement. I wouldn't budge on the Sean Marks shit, but Steve Nash needs to fucking go. I've been fucking saying it since they hired him. He gotta go. Ain't nothing like, where was he during that fucking first round with the Boston Celtics? Huh? Udoka had them all figured out. Why? Because he was part of Steve Nash's fucking coaching staff the year prior. So he already knew the game plan, knew it was going to be one-on-one fucking basketball. Steve Nash have no X's and O's to draw. He's nothing but offense. So if you stop the offense, what the fuck are they going to do? You stop.
That's why they hired him. That's why they hired him, all the assistants that they hired. He had probably one of the best, one of the better assistant staffs in the NBA. I mean, say what you want about Mike D'Antoni. The man still was a multi-time NBA head coach. Still had
never get to the goddamn finals.
No, but still had success with the teams that he did coach and getting to the playoffs and getting them far. So at the end of the day, yeah, he didn't win a final championship.
Success is getting to the finals.
You had Mike D'Antoni. You had Udoka. You had so many other pieces on that assistant squad because they needed to surround Steve Nash. But here's the problem, Matt.
And you agree with what I'm saying? He needs to fucking go.
I don't think Steve Nash should have. Listen, it's very rare. I'm not saying that somebody who doesn't have experience can't be hired for a job, but it's very rare that somebody that has no real experience in a job is going to be hired to do a job effectively. Now, if Steve Nash had been an assistant for years, had been doing things for other teams like that outside of being a quality control assistant or a player development coach or stuff like that for a couple of years with the Warriors, then yeah, I could see you getting that job. I fully believe that assistant coaches should get moved up to being head coaches at some point in their career if they show the ability to do it. I believe that position coaches have the ability to sometimes move to a head coach depending on their ability to do things, right? But at the end of the day, Steve Nash didn't have that tenure. It wasn't like Steve Nash coached in college and was making the jump to the NBA. Hell, Steve Nash wasn't even the head coach of a rec league team and made the jump to the NBA. Okay, he was a player development coach for the Warriors when they had Durant and the squad out in Golden State. Okay, so he didn't have the requisite experience. He could have shocked us all. He hasn't. He hasn't set the world on fire in Brooklyn. So I do agree with the idea that Steve Nash could go, but here's my issue with that though. Considering what's going on right now, getting rid of Steve Nash or Sean Marks or both of them right now makes Joe Tsai look like a you-know-what.
A bitch?
That.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So the issue,
I didn't know we go that far.
So the issue,
it makes you look like a bitch because KD is then creating the narrative and putting it out there that Joe Tsai could be bent over the barrel. And Joe Tsai is going to be beholden to his players. And at the end of the day, that is the one thing that we need to get out of the league. At the end of the day, I believe the owners, I believe the players should have a voice. I do believe that players should have a voice on the team that they play for. And I do understand the narrative that certain star players and superstar players may have a little bit more of a voice or have a little bit more sway with management and or ownership. I get that. But when you are essentially letting your players run the team, the inmates run the asylum, becomes a major problem.
So I got a question.
Last word, Matt. Last word. No, last word. And
all right. My whole thing is what made it so damning that everybody has an issue with it is because Sean Marks was added to it. If Kevin Durant would have just said it's either Steve Nash or me, nobody would have blinked a fucking eye. Nobody would have gave a damn. Nobody would have cared. It's because Sean Marks got added to it. right?
Yeah.
Who essentially says, I'm not playing unless you get rid of the GM?
Nobody.
Exactly. That's why it became so crazy. Steve Nash can fucking go. Joe Tsai needs to bring everybody to the table. And if you want to make the Nets the best team that you can make it possible, it don't get no better than having two perennial superstars on one team with Ben Simmons, who is an all-star. You got a good team. You find ways to make it work to get it on the floor. And you need better coaching. Steve Nash was relatively not even present in the first round.
Where does it end, Matt?
It ends when we're partying on Eastern Park.
No, when does it end? At what point does Durant saying get rid of Marks, even if it was just Nash, let's just hypothetically say he said just get rid of Steve Nash. So you hire another coach. What happens when Durant don't like him after a year? Or Kyrie don't like him after a year? And now they're putting you over the barrel again. At what point does it end? At what point does Joe Tsai have to stand up and be a man? Be a man.
The goal is to get better. Are they going to be better with Steve Nash as their coach?
I don't believe so, but at the end of the day, because of the ultimatum, at what point does it end? Because again, all the stories were saying that Steve Nash was hired at the behest of Durant and Kyrie. Now you don't want him no more. Okay, so now we're going to hire another coach that you wanted. What happens when you don't want that coach anymore, or the next coach anymore, or the next coach? At some point, Joe Tsai is going to have to stand up, regardless of the cost. I agree with you that Steve Nash can go 100%. But at some point, Joe Tsai, the owner of that team, needs to stand up to Durant, Kyrie, whoever it is, and say, I'm the owner. This is what I want for the direction of my team. And you either going to play here or you're going to leave. Simple. And Durant's locked into a 4-year contract. So if Durant wants to sit his ass on the bench and not play, go right ahead. Because I'm not trading you until I get what I want in that trade.
I think that's the biggest thing that some people are forgetting, not us, but some people in general are forgetting the fact that Kevin Durant, 1, re-signed that contract in the middle of the season. 2, is bound there for 4 years. If Kevin Durant decides he wants to sit, that's cool. But we saw what happened to Ben Simmons when he sat and the money that he lost. I know Kevin Durant is not playing for the money, but if it hits your pocket a little bit, I'm pretty sure after a while you're gonna get up off that floor and play. And it's not like, and what Kevin Durant, I would think he needs to understand is the fact that Kevin Durant is a once-in-a-generational player. You're not going to get the same value, once-in-a-generational value for him, which is why the Nets are like, why should we trade him? So we're moving forward on the baseball. Fernando Tatis, 80-game suspension?
Damn right, 80 games for ringworm medicine.
Expand on that.
So last night's story broke that Fernando Tatis Jr., the shortstop for the San Diego Padres, who, as everybody will remember, just made that big, massive trade for Juan Soto in the hopes that he would be the last piece to what they're hoping is a young championship team out in San Diego. Has been suspended 80 games after testing positive for cholesterol. I believe that's how it said, clostebol. Which is a performance-enhancing substance in violation of Major League Baseball's code. The suspension was announced on Friday, is effective immediately, meaning he will not be able to play in the majors for the rest of this year. And any playoff games that the Padres play will count towards his suspension. If they don't make the playoffs, then whatever games is left in his suspension will be counted on the beginning of next year, regardless if they make the playoffs or not. The suspension will likely carry on into at least the very beginning of next year. Now, Tatis has already missed a bunch of time because of a broken wrist. He was in a rehab assignment when he tested positive. Now, according to Fernando Tatis, he said he initially was going to appeal the suspension and decided that he's not, as it was his mistake that led to the positive test. Statement that he sent out yesterday said, quote, "It turns out that I inadvertently took a medication to treat ringworm that contained cholesterol. I should have used the resources available to me in order to ensure that no banned substances were in what I took. I failed to do so. I have taken countless drug tests throughout my professional career, including on March 29th, 2022, all of which have returned negative results until this test. No excuse for my error. Would never do anything to cheat or disrespect the game. So again, he'll be out for the remaining 48 games of the regular season. There's no way the Padres will be able to play enough games in the playoffs, even if they went to a 7-game series the whole way and played the play-in game. You're still talking, they would have to go about 7 games in every series to make 80 games. Actually, they would only make about 60-something games. Sorry, my math is off. So he will be suspended at some point for some portion of the 2023 season as well. Here's the thing. Padres gave him that big contract. Padres traded for Juan Soto, got Manny Machado, done everything that they've done to build like the superstar team in San Diego. You are making hundreds of millions of dollars. You have people upon people upon people upon people on your payroll. We have seen multiple times, let's just go with the medicine theory, where people have taken asthma medication, ADHD medication, all this other stuff, which for one reason or another gets them popped on a drug test because there's a substance in there that's banned on the list. How much of a problem would it have been to say, hey, I want to buy this medicine? Is there anything in this that could possibly get me in trouble? Probably wouldn't have cost him anything. Probably wouldn't have cost them any time as well. You probably have people on your payroll that are paid to do that. And in his statement, he said, I didn't take advantage of the resources available to me. I'm sure there's resources within the Major League Baseball system in which you can say, hey, if I take this medicine, would something happen?
I think the problem, the issue that I'm having with it is the fact that he's not appealing it. And that, like, if it was an honest mistake, you would think that he would appeal the suspension, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like if it was something that I messed up, and if all of his drug tests have come back clean except this one, I'm pretty sure that Major League Baseball isn't like the NFL, and we'll get to them later when it comes to performance enhancers and not one and done. I think that because he has a clean track record, I'm pretty sure them 80 games would have probably been shortened a lot less than 80 games if he would have spoken up, like if he would appeal it. And if in his statement he is saying, hey, I messed up, it was something that I didn't know, cool, because he has a track record for it. But you not appealing it now makes it look like you did it on purpose, regardless of whatever you wrote down. That's how I see it.
I also got to get a little bit upset because he comes out and he says in his statement, it turns out that I inadvertently took a medication to treat ringworm that contained cholesterol. Okay, what's the medication? Tell us the meds.
Tell
us the meds that you took. Over-the-counter medication that you took, that you bought at your local CVS that had cholesterol in it. Hey, I took Lotrimin Ultra and it had something in it that it got me pop. Okay, honest mistake.
Yeah, my thing is, let it be known so that, and if it's not a big deal, if you messed up, let it be known so that other people don't take it either.
And this is an anabolic steroid, and steroids are part of the treatment in ringworm, right? But those are usually anti-inflammatory steroids, not anabolic steroids.
Right. Matt, your thoughts on this?
Spell that shit. Cholesterol.
Yeah, CLOSTEBOL.
Look, I just think they be dragging it with these drug test shit. Like, if it ain't crack, let them at bat. This is stupid. I'm sorry. Somebody needs to say it. Like, the best variation of baseball at one point was during the steroid era. None of y'all baseball purists want to admit it, but it is what it is. You're doing too damn much. ringworms can now cause you to lose 80 games. Wait a minute, he's still getting paid for it?
No.
So he's not going to get paid for a year.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's got enough money.
Yeah, the year is about to be over. The baseball year is about to be over.
And mind you, he was getting paid. He hasn't played this whole season because remember he had his off-season motorcycle accident. Mm-hmm. And you know he's been rehabbing all year. So the Padres did not try to void his salary for this year at all. So he's making it. I think he'll lose like $2 million, a little over $2 million.
How much is his contract worth again?
His contract was Jesus. No, it's like 400-something million.
And what? Hold up. Where's the Padres at again?
San Diego.
They got taxes.
Matt, you sound high. Like
14. So in 2021, he signed a 14-year, $340 million contract extension.
I swear I was in the wrong goddamn sport. I swear. But anyway, regardless, if it ain't crack, let my man back. They doing too much, Pete. It's stupid. You know it's stupid. I get it. You a baseball purist, you know.
And this is actually one of his low years, by the way. This year, he only would have made $5 million in base salary with a signing bonus of about $715,000. His salary don't start jumping. It jumps $2 million next year, then to $11 million in 2024, and then $20 million in 2025.
I'm mad he only said like it's only like $5 million. Like that's not a lot of money. That is a lot of money, regardless.
For us,
for us that's a lot. But if he's making $200 million, that's like $2.
Yeah, like you know, look, in 3 years he's going to be making $20 million in one season.
Well, bright side is when he's able to just relax, get himself healthy, and do what he got to do. Why fight it if you actually know that you fucked up? So even though I don't even think it's a fuck up, truth be told. And why is he getting drug tested if he's rehabbing? That's
because
like,
he's doing a minor league rehab assignment. So he's playing in the minors. So once he's back in the system, he's going through drug testing. And in fact, I understand this drug testing because you're coming off of rehab. You're coming off of these things. This would be the perfect time to test somebody to see if they were doing something they shouldn't have done, to advance their rehab schedule, to do all of those other things. And again, this is an anabolic steroid, not an anti-inflammatory steroid. Like when you take my mother was an asthmatic. I know a lot of people who suffer from asthma and things like that. They take steroids. Those are anti-inflammatory steroids. You have steroids in creams that you could buy over the counter at CVS and Walgreens, stuff like that. Those are usually anti-inflammatory steroids, completely different from an anabolic steroid. I would like to know what ringworm medicines that you can buy over the counter. And again, if he had a prescription, still, why are we not, fighting this, as Dre said?
Honestly, like I said, anabolic steroids are not crack or heroin. So is it really that deep? Like I act like steroids is going to be the reason why you can see a little ass ball at 99 miles per hour for you to hit it out the fucking park. You still
need some skills to play baseball. They make it seem like sometimes they make it seem like steroids give you superpowers.
Exactly. It's fucking stupid. Like boy is about to turn into the Flash because he took ringworm medicine. Let it
my man's about to
evolve at some point.
This man's about to reach first base in 2 seconds. No.
He's not a fucking Marvel character. Like, let it go.
Right. That goes back to
as a baseball guy, I get that.
Yeah, like that goes back to we were talking. Shout out to the shop, Stan, Randy, Eric. We were talking about this before. Like steroids don't really do nothing. like steroid, it will make you stronger. I guess it will make you hit the ball harder, but you still have to have some type of skill.
Exactly.
Right, especially in baseball. This isn't football where you're going to take anabolic steroids, get massively huge, and truck somebody, right? Like this isn't
going to help you with it because everybody else is just as big as you are. You have to have skill regardless.
So in baseball especially, listen, I don't care what anybody says. People make fun of baseball. People like to rag on it. I can guarantee you that probably 90% of even athletes in other sports can't hit a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, right?
Exactly.
It's not happening. And these are the top 5%, 2% of athletes in all the world. Just take football players, take basketball players. I don't care. They're not going to be able to do it. I think the only people who can really do it, like, honestly, I'm surprised the dudes who play cricket can hit what they hit.
It's only cricket and tennis players will be able to hit a 90-mile-per-hour ball.
Right. But, and again, remember, this ball don't move straight. This ball got movement on it. Even a fastball, which is the most basic pitch in baseball, still got movement on it. Okay.
Oh, quick question, Pete. Quick question. Anabolic steroids. Because it allows you to read the pitcher's mind.
No.
No, I know. You know what? I think it allows you to read the catcher behind you to see the signs. That's what I think it does.
Like, they got rid of that too. That's why they got those like Fallout Pip Boys now that guys are wearing, because
that's stupid.
They were upset that players were on second base trying to steal signs. I mean, get it.
We wonder why baseball has lost a good amount of their fucking fan base, because this shit is fucking stupid.
Blame the Houston Astros.
Absolutely. Everything bad in baseball is not the Houston Astros' fault.
This isn't like, we're playing in the sandbox and Matt comes over and I'm like, yo, Matt, when he slides his foot to the left, he's going to throw you the curveball. So now Matt, the next time he goes up to bat, he just slid his foot to the left. I saw that slide. He's going to throw the curveball. So Matt's able to anticipate a little bit better. No, that's not what the Houston Astros did. The Houston Astros had this whole convoluted system where they were out here doing the whole Navajo rain dance on trash cans.
Smoke signals and everything.
To tell people what the pitchers were doing. Like that, yes, is messing with the integrity of the game. But I do agree with a lot of the old school players. The idea of stealing signs, the idea of being an offensive player standing on second base and breaking down. And listen, signs are not as simple as throwing down a 1 or a 3 or this and this. It's a complicated system, okay? As a former baseball pitcher myself, it is a complicated system. I had trouble with it, and I was the damn pitcher, okay? My signs would have gotten stolen in something like the Major League simply because my signs were very simple. Because I couldn't keep up with the system myself. But for you to be able to be standing on second base, which, by the way, is a lot further away from home plate than you think in a Major League stadium.
I know.
Okay. And for you to be able to break down the complicated sign system that, mind you, it's not the same for everybody. Not every team across baseball and every pitcher has the same signs. Everybody's different. So, for you to be able to break that down and understand the code and bring that to your team and like, this is their signs. Listen, you've just gained a competitive advantage. But as the old school players would say, that was part of the game. Being able to do that. You don't want your signs broken, make them more complicated, right? Right. You need to do. You don't want your players do it in football. They figure out they figure out the calls. They figure out the huddle call. They figure out the line calls. The what?
The mannerisms of the line.
They figure it all out, and they're like, okay, they're doing this. They're running that. That guy's going here. It happens in football, and you know what? If the defense breaks down your offense, you better make it better. You better hide it a little bit better. So I didn't like it.
Steroids.
Right.
Steroids is not that damn deep. It's just a fucking medicine.
Here's the thing with steroids. You're right, Matt, that probably one of the greatest errors in modern baseball.
It's not probably. It's a fact.
Well,
it is a fact.
No, I say probably because to me, I find probably the 70s and 80s.
I'm something at your goddamn head.
I'm a pitcher guy. So
he wasn't alive.
Mad Dog Pete Rosado. Go ahead.
I know, right? Like, don't do that.
Listen, I was around when Newt Rockney was the coach in Notre Dame, so don't even start with me. Listen, I was really a big, when I watch old baseball, I was really a fan of the pitchers. So for me, the Nolan Ryans, the Bob Gibsons, all of that, the Fernando Valenzuelas, the age of the pitcher was what was really great for me, right? So the offensive age of baseball, the offensive age of baseball was great, especially in the late 90s.
Pete got a film machine in his closet.
For
he
sure.
got the whole roll of film and everything. Go
ahead, Mad Dog. Tell us
doing
more.
Doing a slideshow where it's like 7 different slides to one pitch. Pete is like
and that shit makes mad noise too in the house too.
Babe, turn the light off. Turn the light off. We got to watch Jackie Robinson to that bet.
Damn right. Damn right.
We watching the Negro League tonight.
It's Black History Month.
The New York Cubans, League. Baby. We're gonna watch the New York Cubans live and living.
And then tomorrow we're gonna watch 42. What?
No,
like
what? But you can make an argument that the greatest age of modern baseball was the steroid era. The problem with that is, and I think what baseball is trying to make sure is that they want the game to be a game of athletic skill versus, hey, I could sit there because, and hit the ball a million miles, because then you also got to remember that age, that steroid era age, also was an age of very high injury. Pitchers, players, very high injuries were happening because of the uses of anabolic steroids. I don't want to say get them out the game, because I think it's going to be impossible. You're going to find guys who are always going to try to get past the system. But at the same time, I do understand the want to get them out of the game. I
just think that they want a more athletic game, and people try to be more athletic, and then they ban them from trying to be more athletic. I don't get it. But also, I understand it. But we're talking about the steroid era, and we're talking about, people hitting and everything like that. Let's talk about a record that was set some years ago, Barry Bonds' 70 home run record, right?
It ain't a record.
It's not a record, but 70 home runs in the season.
Oh, because they fucking got rid of it?
Not a record.
Black. It's because he's fucking black. That's what it is.
Because he took steroids.
True.
It's the truth. You know what? Rodger Clemens never pitched a day in his life, then. So
that was just fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
And he told on everybody. Come on. Anyway. That's a whole show in itself. Anyway, Aaron Judge, soon to be free agent, because the Yankees didn't do their due diligence, and
just can't get right.
Can't get right. Yankees yanking and Knicks nicking. So but
it could be worse. It
definitely could be worse. Yeah. But
I said what I said.
Aaron Judge is at 6. Is he at 61 or he's about to reach 61?
No, he's right now he is at 46 as of yesterday, Saturday, August 12th. He is at 46 home runs.
Yes, 46. Sorry.
Yeah, which he's at 46, which means he is 2 off the pace of Barry Bonds. In 113 games, Barry Bonds had 48 home runs in 2001. He is tied with Babe Ruth, who hit the original record of 60. In 1921, Babe Ruth had 46 home runs in the first 113 games of a season. And then in 1998, Mark McGwire had 45.
Oh, we count those? We counting those, huh? It's because he's white. That's what I said.
So he's
I
on
believe
pace.
He is above Maris's pace, Roger Maris's pace, I believe.
So he's on pace to be one of the greatest home run hitters ever in a single season. So the Yankees, why didn't they re-sign him? Why didn't they pay him the money?
Yeah, they should have paid that money.
Yeah, because the Yankees will pay everybody else, but the people they're supposed to.
We need to dig up Steinberger. That's what we need to do.
I think the issue, the issue was, the Yankees. Everybody's going to try to get a deal, and everyone's going to try to get that hometown discount, especially with the Yankees having brought him up. I know the Yankees probably tried to play into his injury history, but he's making them eat crow with every game this season. The Yankees would not be having the season that they're having without the play of Aaron Judge this season. He definitely deserves the money. I still do think the Yankees will re-sign him. I am holding out that hope. I still do think the Yankees will turn around. They're going to have to pay a premium. At this point, they're going to have to pay a premium because at the end of the day, you came out and you didn't want to pay the premium yesterday. But tomorrow's price is not yesterday's price. Hell, it ain't even today's price.
Said it wrong. Said it wrong. It's yesterday's price. It's not today's price. Come on, you're from the Bronx. You're supposed to have that down pat. That shot.
I started with tomorrow.
You got to do better. Got to do better. But it's not the first time the Yankees has done this shit. They did it to Jeter.
Well, actually, the most famously, they did it to Bernie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that pissed me off. Mm-hmm. That I knew was because he was black. I said what the fuck I said. I knew for a fact it was because he's black. And Bernie was the man. He was the man. I went to Yankee Stadium on purpose because of Bernie. That was my guy.
You know, the Bernie Williams, you know, and everybody was afraid that he was going to go to the Red Sox.
Yeah, that's crazy that, y'all want to pay me? Watch when I go.
Imagine if you would have, though. Imagine. Like, really imagine. And
So
they still did Bernie. They still did Bernie dirty, though.
So imagine if fucking Judge goes to the Red Sox.
You know, I think I wouldn't be surprised simply because, and mind you, after the 1998 season, the Red Sox made Bernie Williams a 6-year offer for $90 million with a 7th-year option. Right? This was in 1998 after the Yankees had just won their 3rd World Series in 4 years. They would go on, obviously, to win the 99 and 2000 World Series as well. Sorry, that's their 2nd World Series in 3 years. Sorry, 98. You know, but he almost, you know, the 7th-year option that was on the table. Now, mind you, this would have been one of the largest contracts in baseball history at the time because Piazza had just signed a 7-year, $91 million deal with the Mets.
I hated him too.
Right. Now the Yankees ended up getting him back for a 7-year deal worth $87.5 million. So technically a little less money, but a little bit more years.
You know why he signed that? You know why he signed that, right, Pete?
Why?
My man's got Scottie Pippen in the contract, fam. He could have got all his money.
You really don't know why he signed that?
Black in Boston?
Thank you, Pete. You've been paying attention. Boston don't like black people. They were just going to pay him $90 million. You know why they was going to pay him $90 million? For damages. That's what that was going to be.
You do realize that.
That's all that was going to be.
You do realize that even though Bernie Williams is a black man, he's Puerto Rican.
So what?
Puerto Ricans are black.
No, I know that. I'm just saying he is 100% an Afro-Latino, 100% a black man. But I'm just hoping Matt knows that he's also.
They don't like Spanish people. They don't like Spanish people in Boston either. What are you talking about? Still the same.
Yeah. Your skin.
You got to be Irish and white in Boston. That's how that goes. Sorry, it is what it is.
You know, but you know when you look at some of the recent contracts that have been signed, right? You look at the money that Juan Soto's looking at getting in a couple of years. You know, the Nationals offered him, what was it, a 15-year contract, like $500-something million that he turned down?
Yeah, why?
Or $400-something million that he turned down?
Well, 15 years is a long ass time. I don't think I can.
I mean, Tatis signed a 14-year contract for $340 million.
Think he could have got something better?
No. At the time, no.
That's why.
At the time, no. You look at it right now. Manny Machado signed a 10-year contract in 2019 for $300 million. Then Garrett Cole signed the contract that he signed with the Yankees for 9 years, $324 million.
Jeez.
Bryce Harper signed a 13-year deal for $330 million. In Philadelphia.
I got commitment issues. That's too many years.
13 years for one team?
Too long, bro.
No.
It's way too long. I can't. Like I gotta retch around a little bit. 13 years. Imagine 13 years in fucking Boston. Nigga, that's
But
prison.
when you think about this, when you think about what I just said, Manny Machado signed a 10-year deal for $300 million with the Padres. Okay. Now, mind you, you talk about somebody like Tony Gwynn, the legendary Tony Gwynn, who played his entire 20-year career with the San Diego Padres and probably never even broke $300 million in his career.
What's the year frame in that?
Gwynn played from 82 to 2001.
See, I mean, the money scale is different from that time frame. That's still a lot of money. That's technically like 1.3 billion around that time. You gotta think about that.
Moving on, but hopefully the Yankees do the right thing, and now
they will.
The price is higher.
By the way, for those people who are paying attention to the home run race, he will have to likely hit about, to tie Maris's record, he's going to have to, hit about a little over 2 home runs a game for the remainder of the season. Average. For him to break Maris's record of 62, probably closer to 3 home runs a game. To hit a home run every 3 games. Sorry. If he wants to match, not beat, but match Barry Bonds' record of 73.
Oh, you counting it now?
He would have to hit a home run every 1.79 games just to match 73 home runs.
So close to every game. Close to every 2 games.
He has 25 games left at Yankee Stadium, 5 games left at Fenway, 3 games left in Angel Stadium, 3 games left in the Rogers Center in Toronto, Tropicana Field in Tampa. So he's got some home run friendly parks. 39 of the team's remaining 50 games is in a good ballpark for right-handed home run hitters.
You also know that they're not going to throw to him after the first one either.
Well, that's another thing. That's something that a lot of people aren't talking about, right? Bonds, Ruth, and McGuire, even Maris, all walked over 140 plus times in the seasons that they hit the home runs that they hit. Aaron Judge is on pace only for 92 walks. They're not walking him like they – listen, I remember watching games when Barry Bonds was hitting all those home runs where he would go 1 for 2 with 3 walks, and they'd be intentional walks. They would just not walk. They would just walk Barry Bonds and deal with the rest of the Giants roster. They'd walk McGuire and deal with the rest of the Cardinals roster. They're not doing that with Aaron Judge, and you could say that part of it is due to
scrubs.
They don't want to deal with the rest of the Yankees roster because the Yankees roster is a bunch of boppers, but he's not walking as much as a lot of the other guys, so he is getting a lot more chances to hit the ball than Maris, McGuire, Ruth, or Bonds ever did.
The crazy thing is they probably won't re-sign him because they got such a crazy-ass squad.
No, they need him. They need him.
I know they need him, but you got to think about Boy's mind. His name is Hal, right? That's the guy that's Hal, right? Yeah. In his mind, he probably thinks, well, I kind of got a squad. I don't necessarily have to.
Stanton is hurt all the time. Josh Donaldson's probably only going to be there for another season or whatever, so he's not really can't be depended on. You're really looking at like who they have. They don't really have anybody. You got Glaber, but Glaber's not what he used to be. DJ LeMahieu's not a 30-40 home run a year guy. You really need to have Aaron Judge on that team, especially with the fact that Juan Soto was traded. You're not getting a guy like Juan Soto. You're not getting the stars like the Yankees used to, where big free agents come up every season, and the Yankees are just signing them left and right. You need Aaron Judge on the Yankees.
Absolutely. Moving forward to our final couple topics, and they surround the NFL, right?
Oh shit! I already know where this is going.
So we're just gonna kick started off with this. Everybody knows Deshaun Watson got 6 games, right? Start off the show talking about it, and we're going to continue it now. Deshaun Watson got a 6-game suspension. They did via outside independent judge outside of the NFL, but the NFL and the rest of the world is like 6 games ain't enough. 6 games ain't enough. So Rodger Goodell is pushing for either 12 games or the whole entire season, with that included. What's included in that? Also, like medical appointments to
So right now he has to do everything through the team.
Yeah, he has to do everything through the team. With that being said, we never discussed
for
this.
obvious reasons.
Because the Houston Texans were complicit in a lot of the bullshit as well.
Right.
So it ain't like going through the team is necessarily always going to be the right thing to do.
Which is why we haven't spoken about it, because we didn't really know, and we didn't really want to speak anything until now. It's basically a finale to it. So now that
it's not a finale.
It's more closer. It's more closer to a finale than it was when we first spoke about it. To where we were thinking like, well, yeah, he's not going to play. Now he has a chance to play. Matt, should Deshaun Watson play this season?
No, like that bitch said that. Like, granted, he didn't play last season. Oh, the fuck well, but granted,
got paid.
He definitely got paid. So that's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't play, but he still got paid. This year, he's looking at less than half the damn season, and the Browns fairly have an easy schedule up until the time he's supposed to be coming back. They probably could break even with 3-3, or maybe a 4-3, or maybe even a 4-2, give or take. So they technically have a shot at still even making the postseason and the playoffs and actually doing something. But honestly, I feel like Cleveland fucked the league to a degree. It was like they knew what was up before they got to this hearing, and I forgot. I don't know the number categories for this, but they pretty much played it to where he's not going to lose that much money.
Yeah,
he's not going to lose that much
contract. Yeah,
so it's like it's pretty much a big aha with all of this, and it's not right. It's 100% not right. Like Pete said earlier, he apologized. I don't know if it was Peter Dre. He apologized. So, and now and then on top of that, you settled 23 out of the 24 that got cases with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're admitting to guilt. So you clearly did something wrong. Mm-hmm. And you're being rewarded by being the most paid, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL all around, not for the year, because I think that's still Aaron Rodgers, if I'm not mistaken. But you're getting rewarded for this bullshit. And usually, we're like, get your money. We're all for the players, like, get your money. But this is fucked up. This whole shit is fucked up. And I don't agree with it. I think if you're gonna let them play, it should be a year. 12 games is not enough because, again, their Cleveland Browns do not have a hard schedule. It's almost reminiscent to the Cowboys last year. So, I mean, like, they can still pull some bullshit and be contenders. And how would that look? He looks like shit, and he has a potential of winning a Super Bowl. It's fucked up.
we said the word earlier, and I'm gonna say it now myself. Why is Rodger Goodell being a little bitch?
He's been a bitch. That's not
Rodger Goodell did not suspend Deshaun Watson all of last season, right?
Mhm.
Deshaun Watson was on
not a lot of the facts was out.
Deshaun Watson was. I don't give a shit if the facts were not out. Once you got to 2, 3, 4, 17, 28, 37 with different women, one is enough.
Sorry,
Right?
he called for it.
45, 47.
One is enough. Let me just make that straight up clear.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But the fact that you had as many women as you had come out against Deshaun Watson and levy charges against him. Okay.
That is,
there should have been a suspension. There should have been a suspension immediately, right? You didn't put him on suspension. You put him on administrative leave. Okay. He got paid the entire season that he was on administrative leave. He was on the roster all year. He was a healthy scratch all year. So he got paid. You could have suspended him all of last year.
Definitely could have.
You didn't. Then you go to an independent arbiter. You go to Sue Brown. Okay. And Sue Robinson, sorry. You go to Sue L. Robinson, former judge. Okay. You recommend that he be suspended for the entire 2022 regular season and postseason.
Mm-hmm.
She hears all the cases. Mind you, she said the NFL only spoke to 3 or 4 of the people that even accused him. So not all 22, 23 of them, right? And she comes down and says 6 games. And we're not going to go over the report. You can find the report online, but she was trying to make the difference between violent and nonviolent sexual conduct, things like that. It's by far the most commonly imposed discipline for domestic or gendered violence and sexual acts. Now, part of this problem is the CBA. Part of this is the CBA and the personal conduct policy and the way that it is worded. So she went based on the rules that are in place by the NFL. Now, let's get past that. The Players Association said they were not going to appeal. And they said that the NFL should not appeal either. Why? Because the NFL appointed Sue L. Robinson. The NFL picked her and said, she's going to make the decision for us. Now you don't like the decision that she made. You had the opportunity.
That she was handcuffed to, because that's 100% by the book. So, I mean.
Right. You don't like the decision that she made. So now, and this is something that people are not talking about, Rodger Goodell
is a bitch. I'm sorry.
Rodger Goodell, yes, had the opportunity. Okay, Rodger Goodell, when he said that he was going to appeal.
Never. Never ever. We can just say bye to damn.
Oh man, yo. Sorry.
Literally, we called a GM of a sports team a bitch. We called
said James Dolan would have pissed on his desk.
Right. He said James Dolan would piss on his desk. We called Rodger Goodell damn
bitch.
A bitch.
Right. Bitch. Yeah. We call NBA. We call other athletes a bitch. It's just like
Daryl Morey. I called him a hoe.
Yeah, we're going down more hoe. We're just
sorry.
You
gonna have to delete all this video footage.
Here's the thing, right? The minute that Rodger Goodell and the NFL said that they wanted to appeal, please understand that meant that Rodger Goodell could issue a written decision that would constitute full, final, and complete disposition of the dispute. This is per Article 46 in the CBA. So he could appeal the decision, and then Rodger Goodell could have just handed down the decision. And then it said, we're appealing, I'm giving him a full game suspension. I'm appealing, we're giving him a 2-year suspension. Rodger Goodell could have done it himself after the appeal was made. Or he could choose a designee.
Such a bitch, right?
Once again, Rodger Goodell is choosing a designee because Rodger Goodell is not doing this. He sent this off to now Peter C. Harvey, who was a former New Jersey Attorney General, who will now hear the appeal.
Seems like a whole lot of money being wasted.
So then, if bro gives him 6 games, what they gonna do? They gonna give him 6 games? They gonna add another 6?
They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to give the 6.
To be honest, why is this being talked about more than preseason and the actual season about to be?
Oh no, we're gonna talk about the preseason next real quick because
right. Mind you, by the way, Deshaun Watson talking about preseason. Deshaun Watson played in the Cleveland Browns' first preseason game of the season.
That was tonight, right?
Okay, completed 1 of 5 passes in 3 series. Okay,
play with the damn dog.
But it's like yes.
Play with the dog. She wants to fetch. Yeah, she wants to fetch. She's giving you the ball so you could throw it, like Watson. She is. It's like
no, not like Watson. Not like Watson at all.
Definitely not like Baker Mayfield.
Throw it like your guy. Yeah, she's Baker definitely Mayfield. Looking you dead in the eye too. Throw it like Jack Wilson.
Listen, you know what?
That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
At least he's still better than Daniel Jones.
That's right. So it's Tyrod Taylor right now. So it's cool.
Who?
Exactly. Via the Queen. Who?
You know.
Listen,
Rodger Goodell needs to stop being a little bitch. Because at the end of the day, Rodger Goodell could have said, you know what? I want him suspended for the year. He's suspended for the year. But no, you didn't like the first independent arbiter. Now you're going to another independent arbiter. Now you're just making it look like you're just trying to play favorites over here. Like Dre said, what's going to happen if this independent arbiter says, okay, only 8 games or maybe 10 games? You're still not getting your full season. So you're going to have to live with whatever this another independent arbiter says. Deshaun Watson decided to finally apologize on the pregame show for the Browns.
Oh, my God.
Said, quote, I want to say that I'm truly sorry to all of the women that I have impacted.
No. We don't want it. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it because if he was so sorry, he would apologize when everything came out.
If he was sorry, he wouldn't have done it in the first place.
Exactly.
Over 60-something times.
Bruh. Moving forward. Let's talk about the preseason.
Only thing he was missing was some Jell-O pudding.
That's what I'm saying. He got Bill Cosby beat.
Yikes, y'all.
And they starting to put the Cosby Show back on TV. I don't know if I should be excited or disgusted. I really don't know.
That's a conversation for off the camera.
I mean, he got released, right?
Yeah. Yeah, on these streets.
You know, he's not in these streets.
All
right. Now we're taking it to the limit. Anyway, we're going. We are.
You knew what I was about to say.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going. Let's talk about the preseason. The Giants defeated the Patriots 21-23, and Tyrod Taylor looked pretty good.
Stop lying to yourself.
No, Daniel. Listen, it's very easy for Tyrod Taylor to look good with as bad as Daniel Jones looks.
Daniel Jones
Dre, don't do it to yourself.
He did not even know how to play football.
He's a quarterback from Duke. What do you expect? Name me one good quarterback from Duke. One. Not one. There has not been one good quarterback in the NFL from Duke University. What in the world made the Giants think we're going to draft a quarterback from Duke and he's going to light the world on fire?
You more excited about it than I am.
It's a wash.
I could have found somebody who never even played college football who would have been a better quarterback than Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Nobody's stop. Anyway, nobody.
The Rock was a better quarterback.
Nobody has come out of any major basketball schools and become an NFL powerhouse in any position.
Where's Keanu Reeves in the replacements?
It's all in the South.
This is all in the South. My thing is
just give us false. Like, don't give yourself false hope. We know our team. We know what we're dealing with this season. I
know what I'm dealing with too. Oh no, I know what we're dealing with too.
Here's
the thing: we're not going to win the division because the other teams are better. Yeah,
Cowboys and the
Eagles in the division. The only thing we have for me, the only thing we have, I can't speak for Tay, but for me, I'm looking forward towards the end of the season when the Cowboys and the Eagles and the Commanders are. What was that? That looked like somebody was watching porn. Like this
not me. It's not me at all. It's not me.
Pete, wow. Wait till we finish the show. God damn. Anyway, that's you wouldn't have it if you watching porn, sir.
Nah, but still have some. Probably a little bit more.
But my thing is towards the end of the season or in the middle, we're kind of like we will beat a couple of those teams who are looking for playoffs.
Stop it.
Yeah,
no. I'm not saying we're gonna make the playoffs. I doubt we're gonna make the playoffs.
Why you giving yourself false hope? We're gonna beat a playoff bound team.
Oh yeah,
who cares? Who cares? Ain't gonna mean shit.
You know what?
The only thing you got to look forward to.
But at least the Giants have been closer to making the playoffs than the Jets have been in a decade. So
we're okay with that. We understand it. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm more than okay with it. Actually, I'm more than okay with it.
It's all right.
When's the last time y'all made the playoffs?
Last time y'all won the Super Bowl.
When's the last time y'all made the playoffs?
When was the last time y'all made the Super Bowl?
Y'all not answering my question. I know the last time we won it was in a decade. When's the last time y'all won?
Has it been recently? Has it been in the last 2-3 years?
We went to the playoffs in 2010.
Thank you, Peter.
That's 12 years.
I just asked.
And we went all the way to the conference championship game.
That was with Mark Sanchez, right?
Yep, that was the second year of Mark Sanchez's conference championship one. We lost to the Steelers in 2010 and to the Colts in 2009.
Good times.
Yep, I was wearing green all through that.
Mm-hmm. Butt fumbling and everything.
Shut the fuck up. Y'all had Tiki Barber. Can't talk.
We got Tiki Barber a ring.
Eli got him a ring. Tiki ain't get a ring.
We'll take it.
I bet.
Also, we have to figure out.
David Tyree got him a ring. Stop it.
That's a fact. That was a good ass catch, though.
David Tyree, had he not saved that pass with the most incredible catch in the history of the NFL, okay, had he not saved that catch, the Giants would not have won that Super Bowl. Same thing with Mario Manningham in that second Super Bowl. Had he not made that toe tap on the left hash to save that, and Welker not inexplicably gone out of bounds, y'all wouldn't have won the second Super Bowl either. I give the second Super Bowl a little bit more credit to Eli than that first one. That first one, David Tyree saved your ass because Eli was trying to throw the ball to the fourth row of the back deck.
And we're not even mad about it. We celebrated. Why? Because we fucking hate fucking Tom Brady at that time.
Yes. I hate Tom Brady.
We're happy for you. But y'all can't let us live. Y'all just want to throw salt every season.
No, because y'all got to run into Tom Brady every day. So you had to run into Tom Brady every day.
Yeah, we softened them up for y'all.
But looks like Joe Flacco will be the starting quarterback for the Jets, at least in week 1.
Oh, shit.
It's been real. We'll see you next week.
I saw Joe Flacco.
Zach Wilson did avoid the really, really bad news. He was only diagnosed with a bone bruise and a slight, a minor meniscus tear after the MRI that he had today. He will be undergoing arthroscopic surgery, and if there's any other damage that they find in there, then this timetable might get pushed back. But they're saying 2 to 4 weeks, which means he may not start. We more than likely will not start week 1 because he'll need time to practice. He'll probably start week 2, which means that Joe Flacco will probably be the season opening quarterback against the Baltimore Ravens of all teams.
Well, that's it for this show. It's been real. It was a good show today. It's a real good show. We talked about KD and Joe Tsai. Rodger Goodell is a hoe. I mean, I'm sorry, he's a bitch. But yeah. Yeah. So Dre, wrap this up.
No.
Listen, this is great. We got Joe Flacco starting in the NFL again. This is fantastic.
No, the fuck it ain't.
Hey, the last time Joe Flacco started?
Last year.
Last year?
Stop.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he did. Can we not do this? Can we not?
Okay. We won't do it. You know what? I'll give y'all a pass. Tay not going to give y'all a pass, but I'm going to give y'all a pass. So let's talk about the events that's going on next weekend. Let's first talk about Black Girl Magic, where I'll read out the full card real quick. We have Jordan Blade versus Bonesaw Brooks in the Pure Rules match. That's going to be beautiful, amazing. Then we have Gia Scott versus Damaris Dawkins in the singles. I'm looking forward to that one. The triple threat between Scarlett, Anastasia Morningstar, and Ariella Nix in a triple threat match.
Ariella, listen, I know two of those women. I don't know Scarlett. I know Anastasia Morningstar for a very, very long time. I've known Ariella Nix for a very long time. I knew when both of them were both breaking into this business to become professional wrestlers. And no disrespect to Ariella Nix, but I am very afraid for both women in that match because Anastasia Morningstar is quite literally a monster.
Right. And we've seen Ariella Nix up close and personal, her come back to wrestling for a while. I know she wasn't wrestling that much for a while. So shout outs to her. The tag team match. Estrella and Maserati,
yep.
Yes, Estrella and Maserati versus Thick and Juicy 2.0, which includes Miss Brooke Valentine and Willow Nightingale. And we have the main event. Miss Karen Bam Bam versus Trisha Dora, which I think is going to be a banger of a match.
Oh, very much a banger. Almost anything Trisha Dora touches is a banger, but it is great to see Karen Bam Bam getting these kinds of opportunities, these main event level opportunities. You know, we talk so much about, people being able to break out and people being able to get that stage. They need to be given those opportunities, right? And Karen getting this opportunity to be in the main event against Trisha Dora is going to show a large portion of the world that does not know how good Karen Bam Bam is, just how good she is, because she is going to pull some of the best out of Trisha Dora. I think a lot of people are looking at this match and not really taking it seriously, not really understanding how good Karen Bam Bam is. Some people see her as a novelty. Some people see her as a one-trick pony in wrestling. Karen Bam Bam is really, really good, very underheralded, very underrated, and people are going to find out when she wrestles Trisha Dora in the main event of Black Girl Magic 2 just how damn good Bam Bam is.
Absolutely. I agree with you 110%. I think this card is a really, really great card. And shout out to Spice. She ran Black Girl Magic 2 last year. Amazing show. I'm looking forward to see the turnout and everybody's there for this show. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, you better.
Because they don't show up, they don't support. I'm gonna let them know they don't support Black women.
It's going to be 185 Ellery Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11206. Doors open at 7 p.m. Bell time is at 7:30. Tickets for general admission will be $25 and the front row will be $30.
Just bring a tent, bring a sleeping bag, because you're going to want to stay there. Because the very next day, in that very same location, is going to be Jobber Slam 2.
Most definitely. Jobber Slam 2. We're looking so much forward to that. That is going to be a banger of an event as well.
I just need you to not get punched out. Please.
No, I'm keeping.
I'm not going to be there for the whole show. People may, as much as it pains me, I have a commitment in New Jersey, so I won't be there like I was for Black WrestleFest to have y'all back, to have your back. I won't be there, right? So please don't get getting punched out.
Matt. All right.
Matt, who's going?
Yeah, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, I need you to not get punched out on because listen,
He ain't getting punched out, but I'll be there.
Okay, Matt.
They don't want that smoke with me.
Yeah, I need you to listen because the last time I was there and I almost had to jump the rail because Dre was out here writing checks and then
because I wasn't there.
His mouth.
Because I wasn't there.
Right. So listen.
All that was.
Let me just say this. I want to say
might
this.
Say something this time.
I want to say this live and live in color.
Especially the short one.
I got a lot of love, and a lot of respect for Yaya. He truly is the gifted one.
Absolutely.
I have a lot of love and respect for Rayhan.
That's the midget?
No, that's the big one.
That's the big one.
He can catch
and I got a lot of love and respect for Zuka.
Oh, that's Inside Private Eye. That's him.
So also Zuka is, for those who don't know, Zuka is being replaced by Mr. Movie Micron.
Mike coming in. Okay, all right. Listen.
Wow, what happened? What happened?
Bam,
unfortunate events happen. Let's say that.
Bam, sucker. That's what happened. Bam, sucker. Somebody bam, sucker him. But listen, I got a lot of respect for these gentlemen. I've used them as well in We Are Wrestling. I love them and respect them outside of wrestling as well. These gentlemen that make up JTP South, whatever you want to call it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all be running your mouths a little too much. And y'all be talking some smoke about people that you got no business talking. So you got to worry about Prolific.
Nah, fuck that. You in my borough.
You got to worry about 3 of the best singles wrestlers and trios wrestlers and tag team specialists in the game that people don't talk enough about. You got enough to worry about with Isaiah Wolf and Tyree Taylor and Marcus Marquis. You don't need to be starting problems and talking smoke about Dre and by extension myself and Matt and the Yerrr Sports Show by extension. You don't need to do that.
I'm with all that fuck shit.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, JTP, South, JTP, West, East, North, South by Southwest, the Kanye West child, I don't care. When it comes down to it, it's put up or shut up. And if you want to make it 6-on-3, if I got to stay a little while and be late to Jersey, I'll stay late. And it'll be me and Matt and Dre and Wolf and Tyree and Marquis, and then what you're going to do when it's 6-on-3. Because there ain't enough for you. There's only 3 of you. There's more of us than you can count. So let me tell you something, JTP South. On Saturday, you better be ready to put your money where your mouth is. Or else we're going to be sending you back down south with a couple more bruises that you just can't heal. We're going to send you back down south with a little heartbreak. We're going to send you down south with a little bit of emotional damage. And you're going to be starting to wonder if maybe, just maybe, this is the business you need to stay in.
Yep, absolutely. I agree 110%. You heard it from the voice of a generation first.
Cornfield motherfuckers high on sugar sandwiches and shit.
Don't make me call George South on them.
Nah. You don't got to call George on them.
I call George.
So outside of the JTP South versus Prolific round 2 match, we have Faye Jackson's Gray Sweatpants Battle Royal.
I got on my gray sweatpants right now. Right now, I have them on. I'm ready. Faye, call me now. I'm ready. Trust me. I'm a surpriser.
Oh Lord, that sounds crazy. Featuring, a couple cool names. We have a good friend of ours, Stan Michael, in it. We have Anthony Gamble. We have Savannah Evans.
Sonny Kiss.
Oh, unfortunately, guys, Sonny Kiss will not be making it.
Oh man.
Due to prior engagements, but we have a good bunch of people and a couple of surprises though too. I can't speak about the surprises, but we got a couple of surprises.
I'm still stuck on the shower shit. That threw me off. It was just sick.
The what?
I'm nauseous.
Okay, yeah.
Why? Why are you nauseous?
Another match that we have for Job Slam is Survival of the Fittest Battleweight Championship match. G.S. Scott, Abraham Khan, Evander James, Jordan Blade, Rembrandt, Montekia, Yo-Ya, Cosmic, Mike Law, Encore, Joseph Alexander, and Dave Rivera. That's a great group of talent, and I can't wait to see the winner of that one.
Yo, I got very intrigued by that. The Nemesis division, the Battleweight Championship. This got announced, a brand new championship for Battle Club Pro. A lot of great competitors in that. But I'm going to tell you right now, call me a homer, whatever you want. My money is on Mike Law.
Oh, yeah. Same
The fact that
here.
Mike Law does not have a major championship at Battle Club Pro yet. The fact that Mike Law should be in line to be getting a shot at the franchise championship, the 5-point championship. That man deserves a championship around his waist. He has earned it with what he has done in this business, and he earns it every single time he steps into that ring. And against all the odds, my money this Saturday is on Mike Law to capture that Battleweight championship.
Absolutely. Just to go back real quick, Faye Jackson's Gray Pants Battle Royal is sponsored by Welcome to the Raw Zone. The Battleweight Championship match, Survival of the Fittest, is sponsored by Access Self Storage. Round 2 of Prolific versus JTP South is sponsored by G'd Up Gentlemen. We are sponsoring Prolific, your sports show sponsored athletes, and Run Them Digits podcast is sponsoring Jobber South. We have Darius Carter.
All by them.
Yeah. And I like Run Them Digits. I love
them too, but they're gonna have to run something after this L we gonna give Jobber South. Absolutely.
Darius Carter Brass Ring Invitational is sponsored by the Dirty Heels and Storyline Teams and Party Mags. The submission match between Janai Kai and Bonesaw Brooks is sponsored by G'd Up Gentlemen. Janai Kai is the athlete of the Call Up Podcast. Bonesaw Brooks is being sponsored by Golden Girls.
What a weekend for Bonesaw. A pure rules match on Friday against Jordan Blade, and then a submission match on Saturday against Janai Kai. An intriguing weekend for Bonesaw Brooks.
Absolutely. The Battle Club Pro Tag Team Championship is on the line. Main event versus Thick and Juicy 2.0. That's going to be a banger. Thick and Juicy is doing double duty this weekend. So
listen, I'm interested to see if we get the second ever women's tag team champions in Battle Club Pro history. Remember, for a long time, the Sea Stars, Delmi XO and Ashley Vox, held those Battle Club Pro tag team championships until the main event defeated them to win it. So could the main event drop those titles the same way they won them to an incredible women's tag team?
At Jobber Slam, at that.
Right, at Jobber Slam.
This match is sponsored by GG for the win. Main event is sponsored by Saturday Morning Cartoons. And Thick and Juicy sponsored by the Jobber Network. Actually, they're sponsored by 2.5 Bros. We have the 5-point championship on the line where champion Steve Pena, who is sponsored by Go for the Pin podcast, is going against Mysterious Q.
What a matchup. This is a match. This outside of the match that he had against Masha in the finals. I believe it was the finals of the 5 points tournament. This is one that I'm very scared of for Steve Pena. I usually will put money on Steve Pena against just about anybody in the ring, but this is one of those matches where it's like, man, Mysterious Q is hella good, and Steve Pena is going to have to fight the fight of his life if he wants to walk out still the 5 points champion after Jobber Slam 2.
Absolutely. We have the franchise championship match. Mick Drake, the champion, accompanied by Mr. Martinez of Federated, will defend his title against independent wrestling legend Dan Moff.
Well, it looks like we're going to have a new franchise champion, huh? I love Mick. I think Mick is an incredible athlete, incredible professional wrestler. And I never put anything past Federated, especially when Mr. Martinez is involved. Hell, Federated popped up at my last show completely unannounced, not once but twice. So Federated is known to do whatever they want to do when they want to do it. And we know that there has been a massive Federated influence at Battle Club Pro in the way that they've affected Battle Club Pro shows, how we saw them recruit Abraham Khan and Christina Marie on the same show, you know, unbeknownst to anybody. But Dan Moff is the goddamn measuring stick. Mm-hmm. And if Mick Drake is able to defeat Dan Moff somehow, some way, it's going to do a lot for Mick Drake in saying who the hell is going to be able to beat Mick Drake. But this may be the one. We have seen a fantastic run as franchise champion for Mick Drake since he won this championship in the May the Franchise Reign tournament. Mm-hmm. We have seen an incredible run by him. He's been in the ring against Simon Gotch. He's been in the ring against, I believe Santana was in that match as well.
Yep.
He's been in the ring against a plethora. I believe at Jobber Slam 1, it was Mick Drake versus Mysterious Q.
Right.
You know, he has had an incredible run as the franchise champion, but this right here may be, after what we saw Dan Moff and Shane Taylor do to each other at Black Girl Magic, I highly doubt.
That wasn't at Black Girl Magic.
not Black Girl Magic. Sorry, Black WrestleFest.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my apologies. We're talking about Black Girl Magic.
Uh-huh.
But after what we saw Shane Taylor and Dan Moff do to each other at Black WrestleFest, I wonder if Mick Drake has that extra gear to be able to take the beating that Dan Moff is going to give him. Like, there's no question that there is a beating coming the way of Mick Drake. I wonder if this Saturday is going to be the last time we see Mick Drake walking out of that ring with the franchise championship. It very well could be. My money is on Dan Moff, with no disrespect to Mick Drake. My money's on Dan Moff. But, you know, it stands to question if Drake's going to be able to pull it off this Saturday.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. This match is sponsored by Dr. D's Wrestling Showcase. And the main event for the Battle Club Pros Icons Championship, this match is sponsored by Pretty Hills. We have the champion, Big Swole, who is sponsored by us at the Yerrr Sports Show, versus Mia Yim, who is sponsored by Dr. D's Wrestling Showcase. This match is going to be phenomenal. Every time Mia Yim has stepped into a Battle Club Pro ring, it has been phenomenal, and I don't expect anything less. But my money, of course, is on the champ, Big Swole, a.k.a. Main Event Swole, Swolenko, whatever you want to call her. Make sure you call her champion. And like, at the end of the day, it's going to take a lot for somebody to take that title off her, but Mia Yim is definitely going to put up a good challenge.
For those of you who watched, Impact's Emergence, you saw Mia Yim give Jordan Grace one hell of a fight for that, Knockouts championship. Unfortunately, came up a little short there, but people forget. And Swole might beat me upside the head when she sees me this weekend for what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
But people may forget that before Battle Club Pro became Swole's house, it was very easily Mia Yim's house. Battle Club Pro was Mia Yim's house before she put her name on a contract and went to go do what she did. Okay? And she is coming back home for the first time in years. She is coming back to a place she calls home, and she's looking around on the walls, and she's seeing that things aren't exactly the way she left it. She's looking around, and she's seeing that the furniture ain't the same, the posters on the wall ain't what they used to be, and the paint's just a different shade of color than what was there originally. She is walking into what is now Swole's house, and the question is going to be, will Mia Yim be able to reclaim her throne and be able to reclaim her house and be able to make Battle Club Pro once again Mia Yim's house. We have seen Swole go to war with Tasha Steelz, which is how she got that Icons Championship. And we have seen her retain that Icons Championship and won a hell of a match against Trish Adora and an incredible run with the Icons title. And Swole has been put on this pedestal that she has not only earned, but she has deserved. But now the time has come. Now the toll has to be paid. And the question is, will Mia Yim walk out of Jobber Slams 2, the new Icons Championship, reclaiming Battle Club Pro as her house? Or will Swole put her crown down and declare once and for all that in the face of any and all challengers, Battle Club Pro is now and forever Swole's house?
Yep. You definitely have to be there to see it live. General admission, what is today? The 13th? So again, general admission right now, $40. Front row is $50. Guys, tickets are selling fast for both the events, Black Girl Magic and Jobber Slam. So you definitely want to be there for that. But that puts a wrap on our show. Shout outs to the Job Chairs Network. Again, everybody but Mr. Black and the rest of Job Chairs South. Prolific up on everything. Shout out to all the shows on the network. Shout out to everybody here. And like I said, that's a wrap. For the voice of a generation, Pete Rosado. For the Queen, Queen Tay. For BK Matt, it is your boy, Big Baby, signing off. Peace.
Sony removed Fernando Tatis from MLB The Show.